where you say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Nice people, most of them, secretly miserable. Take a look at me. No longer my favorite subject. I quit drinking a few years ago, and all of a sudden, I became nice. People were like, oh, Chris, that's so nice. Oh, you're so nice. You're so nice, you make people happy. I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, don't tell anybody. Seriously. But I've learned over these last few years to embrace my niceness. I like to wear happy, shiny clothes. I default to the optimism. Basically, I'm one of those people that the outwardly miserable find annoying. But lately, my dark side scares me. A friend of mine, her husband passed away, and I thought, I'll be nice. I'll phone her. I'll cheer her up. So I call her up, I'm like, hi, Piper. Sorry about Tad dying. Be grateful. You woke up this morning. You don't have to fuck him anymore. My dark side scares me. So I'm coming home from class here. I like to call it school because the homework's so much fun. And I'm walking down Front Street and I see this homeless guy. But he's got it going. He's got this sign and he says, please, need money, desperate, running out of booze. So I thought I'll be nice and give him some cheer, and I look down, and he's got his drink there, and I'm like, the glass is half full! Usually only alcoholics get that one. But what I like best is the could be worse stories. So my mom, she was really sick, and she was in the hospital, and I thought I'd be nice and cheer her up. So I go visit her, and there just happened to be like a Florida newspaper. So I thought I'll read her some headlines. Could be worse. You know, Florida's really crazy. So the first day I read the headline, and it says, Florida man bites off neighbor's ear because he wouldn't give him a cigarette. I'm like, Mom, aren't you glad you got both ears and you quit smoking? Could be worse. Well, it seemed to be working. She was doing a little better. So the next day, I come in, and I open up the paper, and the headline says, man tries to smoke crack in ICU unit, nearly burns down the hospital. These are all real headlines. So I'm like, Mom, aren't you glad you're out of ICU and you gave up the crack for booze? Seemed to be working. She was doing so much better. So the next day, I go in and I open up the paper and it says, 17 unhurt in morgue shooting spree. I'm like, Mom, aren't you glad you're not dead yet? Because I know how much you hate guns. She died the next day. So I'm at her funeral, and I'm going up to the casket to say my final goodbyes, and I say casket kindly. It was more like a cardboard box. I don't know if my dad just didn't really like her or if he was really cheap. But then I saw the headline. He must have read, How to Survive Death by Dying for Under $100. And it's true. All my stories are true. That's the sad part. My dark side scares me, so I'm leaning over her coffin. And I'm looking into her face. It was open, of course. And I'm looking, and I'm specifically staring at her upper lip. And all of a sudden I realize hair really does grow after death. Sorry about your mustache, Mom. You know what? My dark side scares me here. My mother is dead, and I'm obsessing over her mustache. Probably because she said she'd never be caught dead with it. So I live in Oakville, the shiny, happy place. And there's a lot of great thrift stores. I get a rush out of the vintage shops. So I'm with my sister one day, a really rare occasion because she's one of those outwardly miserable people and surprisingly finds me rather annoying. So we're walking to lunch and I bump into an old friend like, oh hey Chris, hi, how you doing? Love the sweater. I'm like, maybe like. sister. What? Why do you tell people that? Aren't you concerned you're wearing dead people clothes? I hope so. I could be wearing Princess Diana stuff, Jacqueline Kennedy, perhaps Anna Nicole Smith. My concern? Who wore it better?